Going on, y'all? About to be checking out this video from Rev. Apparently, Hassan Piker got in trouble again. This guy's a fool. Let's check this out. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. All right, let's get into it. Also hit the hype button too as well.
Hey, what's up, here? So it looks like the amazing political pundit Hassan Piker has once again exercised his amazing wit to back two more candidates in the Florida primaries. These two socialist candidates, well, they lost, and they lost bad. In fact, they got absolutely curb stomped in the polls, much to the chagrin of Hassan Piker, who predictably crashed out, including on his own viewers, saying that he hates his own job and yada, yada, yada. A lot of this is very ironic, given the fact that literally hours before the results, Hassan was mocking people like Asmongold for showing support for a losing candidate in this Florida primary. Well, fast forward to the actual results, and the people that Hassan backed up, including the socialist Oliver Larkin, they got absolutely destroyed. It wasn't even close.
Because people probably know Hassan is trash out here. They know what he can do if he ever has any kind of influence in these political streets. They know it's not good for him. They know. In fact, if I was someone trying to achieve something politically, I wouldn't step foot near Hassan Piker. I wouldn't want to go around him. I wouldn't speak to him. I would definitely just ignore the hell out of him. People, I guess, only care about numbers, right? So they think, hey, man, if I associate with this guy, I could get some of his viewers to vote for me. Okay, you want to align with the nutcases?
And of course, not doing any sort of victory speech, not thanking anyone. The winning candidate instead mocked Hassan. That was the first reaction of the winner of this Democratic primary. They went on Twitter, directly tagged Hassan, and mocked him and said, "My condolences." Unfathomably based, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, you know he's going to crash out over that, but people ask the question, like those at Rolling Stone.
I'm sorry, I don't know if y'all could hear it. That was insane.
Why is everyone scared of Hassan Piker? Well, besides Kaya and brothel workers who should be naturally afraid of Hassan, I think the only person who should be more afraid is anyone who is a Democrat primary candidate, because anyone he backs is almost destined for a loss, and that's exactly what happened. He was 0 for 2 in Florida, and like I said, it wasn't even close. So let's see these sort of efforts that Hassan was doing. His sycophants posting, memes like this that apparently are going to get people out to vote for socialists like Oliver Larkin and Elijah Manley. And, well, how'd that turn out? Not so great. But the same accounts are proudly posting that Hassan Piker's community phone bank made over 125,000 calls in 2 hours for Oliver Larkin. Wow. Amazing stuff. Too bad they lost by 30%.
So they did all of that, and still was out here losing. Insane.
An absolute bloodbath. It turns out the average American citizen does not like socialism. In fact, those are the results, with Oliver Larkin only getting 35% of the votes in this primary. And oh, don't forget about the other socialist candidate that Hassan backed up, Elijah Manley, who only got 13%. Yeah, a combined 47% for two different primary races. Absolutely amazing, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, Hassan immediately crashed out over these results.
Valid consequences, I think, for Larkin too.
Nixon leading in Broward County by 10 points.
Okay, where the is the someone link me to Larkin?
I just want to
Elijah lost already
because we're good.
Yeah, Debbie Wasserman Schultz at 50%.
We're going to do a hit here.
Elijah gets 12%. Dale,
yeah, he over here crashing out already. He's crashing out.
Holness. Debbie Wasserman Schultz wins Florida House 20. Holness got second place with 21%. It was not even close. Right here? So yeah, Jared Moskowitz wins on decision desk at 63% of the vote, with Oliver Larkin 34. It's not a bad showing overall.
right now, you're right. It is not good news for Vindman. I do want to ask you, I'm sorry if you made this point. Do we know some of this early vote or the vote that you have right now? Is it the early vote? Is it the mail-in vote, or these votes today? No, that's right. That's what they do in Florida. I'll give you an example here in Broward County. You see about 2/3 of the vote is now counted. That's
Florida's
early vote. That's vote by mail. All of these counties get that ready, and they report it out very quickly after polls close.
Florida is not unsavable. This is a very strong showing, straight up. Oliver Largett, Elijah Manley, they got no national endorsements whatsoever. Are you crazy?
Yeah, it turns out the average American voter really doesn't like socialism. Socialism is unpopular. It might be popular among the termly online and the wackadoos, but no, at the end of the day, this is something that is not popular among the American voters.
A lot of people with common sense realize how nuts and how wild it sounds, right? Even when I was young, I always tell people when I was young, before I knew any better, I was an anarchist. And then I realized it really didn't make any sense, especially if my faith had to be dependent on people. Humans trash, bro. Look at Hassan Piker. He's just out here doing nasty work on a daily basis. So yeah, I do believe that once you get older, you get more mature and start seeing things for what it is and realize certain philosophies or ideologies don't really work. At least that's what you're supposed to do.
Despite how many people on social media claim socialism is going to cure all of their problems, it's just not how it translates in the actual voting booth. But there's another layer of irony that I pointed out in this video, where Hassan, just hours before finding out that both of his candidates he backed lost in the Florida primary, he was mocking Asmongold for showing just verbal supports of one of the Republican
Of course. Hassan is obsessed with Asmongold
nominees who lost, saying that they have no movement, they have absolutely no political influence whatsoever. But then Hassan finds out that he lost. Both of these socialist candidates that he backed got absolutely destroyed in the polls. But Hassan's nightmare got even worse and much funnier. So here is the winning Democrat nominee, who, instead of going on to social media to thank his supporters or anything like that, he decided to call out Hassan. This was his first reaction to winning, and it is so funny. He says,
"That's funny." That's funny. Because you could tell Hassan over there crying like this is the last thing ever.
"My condolences to @Hasan Piker." Absolutely based, ladies and gentlemen, and the replies, they're loving it, okay? Absolute legend. You had my vote. My condolences to Kaya. She doesn't deserve this, guys. Prayers for Kaya. It's going to be a very rough couple of weeks if this stuff continues, okay? Prayers for Kaya. Let's keep her safe. Another one saying, poor Kaya. What a blowout. Wasn't even close. Hasan Piker shocked his dog. You know what? No matter how many losing candidates he backs, he'll ultimately be known more for shocking his dog. That is Hassan's legacy. My man, they call it the Mike from CP difference. Yeah, they call this the Mike from PA and Hassan difference. Yep. Whenever they back a candidate, they're almost destined for failure. But of course, Hassan does not know what accountability is. And he is really Schrodinger's streamer, right? It's not just with his race where one day he's white, the next day he's brown. It's the same thing with his status as a political pundit. One day, he's a very serious political pundit, typically when things are going his way. But when things don't go his way, he's suddenly just a Twitch streamer.
That is crazy. He won his race, and the first thing he's got, the first person he has on his mind is a fucking Twitch streamer, dude. I'm just reposting it.
Crazy.
Dog, I'm a fucking Twitch streamer. What?
Any other time, he'll make it like he's the only one with the answers. Like you have to go to Hassan to figure this all out. Now he's just a Twitch streamer.
Are you thinking about me after winning your fucking primary? These people are insane.
Guys, he's just a humble Twitch streamer. He's just a Twitch streamer, guys. Yeah, it's so funny. Like I said, whenever things are going his way, he's a serious political pundit. But when things don't go his way, he's just a humble Twitch merchant, guys. Like he's just a guy, you know, he's just a streamer. Who cares? Yeah, it's totally ridiculous. But he wasn't done. He would also add in a quote to Jared saying, "It's pretty wild that his first thought was a prominent critic of Israel before even thanking his constituents." LMAO. Really worried about his genocidal emotional support apartheid. I'm sorry. This reply is perfect. One buzzword after another. I mean, that is jam-packed. It's almost impressive, the amount of buzzwords that Hassan packed into a 3-line tweet. It's actually impressive, the level this guy goes to, but he wasn't done yet. So it was reported by Politico that in a call, he is genuinely worried about this candidate's mental well-being after he was mocked. Okay? Hassan saying, "I'm genuinely concerned for his mental well-being. I think he should stop posting on the internet and focus on defeating the Republican in his newly redistricted congressional seats." Yeah, you know what? When it comes to putting the phone down and stop tweeting so much and being obsessed with social media, I think the call's coming from inside the house, buddy. Like, you are the...
Facts. Hassan needs to relax. You need to fall back. Put your phone down. Such a hypocrite.
Number one person who should not be telling people that they're online too much. But anyways, the crash outs weren't done. He was mad at his chat, and that's really expected. Nothing gets him angrier than his own chat. The creation that he has produced, this rabid set of sycophants who are mad at him because he's not extreme enough. And in this case, he's just letting it rip. He hates his life. He hates his job. He hates everything.
We treat every white man as though they're a pedophile? No, of course not. That's not how anything works. We don't just automatically assume that like every white guy is Jeffrey Epstein, right? That's not how it goes. Every time I bring this up, chat has to literally go, yes! God, I fucking hate my job today. On days like this, I just fucking hate my job. I hate this. I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah, just remember, Hassan Piker is the same guy who basically said that streaming is harder than a regular 9-to-5 job. And this meme right here really encapsulates how insane and tone deaf this man is. But it's been a very rough couple of weeks for Hassan. As I've stated, his dream is to be taken as a serious political pundit, and he's getting that, but just not the way he expected, where he is a blight. Anything he's associated with takes a massive hit, whether they lose their primaries. I mean, he's like 1 for 8 at this point. And even in the cases where the candidate he backs wins, their favorability among voters completely tanks after the connection to Hassan Piker becomes a more known connection.
Rightfully so.
And yeah, you know what? Unfortunately, it's a monkey's paw situation with Hassan. He got his wish, just not the way that he expected. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, please.
Yeah, Hassan deserves that. And any political figure that wants to connect themselves to Hassan with your simple self, yeah, you probably don't deserve to win either. But that's just my opinion. Tell me what yours is down in the comment section. Hit the hype button. Also subscribe if you haven't. And check me out on my live streaming platforms. I'm on Twitch, I'm on Kick, and I'm also on a different YouTube channel streaming. Everything should be linked in my description.